Hi, my name is Matthew. This is my entry to the Old Lumens Challenge handmade category as Ruckusmatter. This is my build. It is a briefcase I found outside my neighbor's house with a 250 watt mercury arc bulb I got in a projector I found outside my school. And the rest of the parts inside are mostly salvage. I bought maybe 3 parts for this, total 10 pounds, 15 pounds or so. Not bad. These are the insides. It's not finished right now when you see this video. What is getting replaced from here is this battery, and there used to be an inverter over there. They're both getting binned. When I powered it up the first time, the battery actually drops in voltage a lot. Drops about half a volt, around 150 watts, 200 watts, and the bulb shuts down because the ballast doesn't like it. So that's getting replaced. I already returned the inverter to Amazon because I want my money back soon. And the battery, I don't know where I got it. I probably bought it a while ago, but it's too late to return it, so I've just left it in there for now. I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of how everything works. Hopefully this qualifies me as giving you guys a tutorial. I think that's one of the qualifications for the contest. Basically over here, I've got the cooling fan. It's a big blower fan. That's the intake. The plan is that it's going to pull air in, blow it out through there, and there is a duct, like an intake for the fan over there. I've covered over it. My plan is hopefully, with a bit of like a baffle across it, air is going to come out here, very ever so slightly cool these components. It doesn't matter if it doesn't. That shouldn't get warm. It's rated for 13 amps. I'm doing 1 amp. That should be okay. Inside the original projector had very little airflow, so it should be fine. And then the bulb, which obviously needs a lot of airflow, it's got another massive blower fan, which will pull air in from over here and then exhaust it out here. And then around the bulb, it's glued in. I shimmed it with a couple sheets of cardboard and a wooden plank. But around it, you'll see I've got this sheet metal, which I actually cut out from some scraps I had from an old computer I took apart. It's done in 2 pieces because I didn't have enough scrap to do it in 1 sheet. Sorry for the shaky camera. So you'll see it's screwed in here and over here. The original was rivets. I drilled them out, replaced it with a screw, and I used some nuts as a spacer. It's a 3mm like channel that the wooden panels all sit in. These are all made of wood. So these are all 1mm thick, though, the metal. So I created these little spacers just from spare scraps, and then the nuts up there. So it's pretty rigid. It doesn't move a whole lot. You'll have to take my word for that. That's just to really protect it and cover it up, because before it was really nasty looking and quite flimsy. I mean, it's still got some give to it, but it's a lot stronger than before. The bulb is a 250 watt, I think. Actually, I can't remember how wide it is. Hang on. I've got a ruler here for you. Looks to be about 65 millimeters across. So 65mm parabolic reflector, 250 watt, 1.3mm arc, I think, on that bulb. So decent output. I measured it before. I don't know if it's changed at all, or I don't know if my measurements were accurate. They were at 10 meters, which is probably not far enough. But it measured 17,000 lumens. That was off power calculations, and 9 million candela, and that was with a lux meter. So 9 million candela should be about 6 kilometers of throw, which is pretty good. I'm happy with it. I was hoping for something bigger, but I'm happy with it. In the future, I reached out to a couple glass makers, asked if they would sponsor a sheet of anti-reflective coated glass. I would put it inside this channel, and I can knock off the spacers I built on there. I could, take those out and have a glass panel in there. The original bulb came with a panel of glass. I assume it already is filtering out all the UV-C, because that stuff's nasty. And I've been told there's a lot of that from this bulb. Just because you could get a nice zoomed in photo of the bulb. Looks pretty nice. It's a serious piece of kit. Then around the front, the AC gets fed into here. It's just a very, very large capacitor. rectifier and then a resistor in parallel to the capacitor to discharge it. It discharges in about 2 minutes, which is how long everything takes to cool down as well. So after every run, you have to wait about 2 minutes before you open it up and you want to check on anything. So it's not long. It's not bad. This is a SSR. I'm using that to switch the output. So AC goes in, switched on or off by this, and the ballast is set to always be on. When it's powered, it's on. That's that. You can see I put a jumper wire across the optic coupler, and what that does is tells the motherboard that this would usually be connected to. Sorry, the motherboard would tell it when it's connected to turn on by providing a voltage across these two pins on the optic coupler, and that would short the output on the other side. And that would tell the ballast to turn on. The other two over here, one of them is a reply to tell the motherboard it's okay, and the other, I believe, is an eco mode, where it runs at like 100 watts or so. So I've shorted that one to get the full output. Whenever it's powered, it'll turn on. It receives about 340 volts DC, I think, from here. That goes in there. Output's over there, goes to the bulb. What else? Right, the switches. There's two of them. And it's a bit of a nifty trick. When you switch this one on, turns on the fan, so you go like that. Fans go on, the LED comes on when it's switched in. When it's out and off, the LED is not on. When you switch this one, it turns on the bulb, and it also turns on the fans. So if I were to forget to turn on the fans first, and I turn that on, doop, I'll see that one lights up. This one shouldn't light up, but it does. I forgot an extra diode to stop the LED lighting up, but it doesn't matter. That way, you could safely turn on the bulb immediately, and the fans will always turn on. So the bulb can never be on unless the fans are on. And then you can switch that on later, switch off the bulb, leave the cooling fans on. Happy days. What it is a diode down there. You see the diode? In case you can't, there. And that's just across these two to make sure it turns on when that one's on, but not when this one's on, that one's on. When that one's on, that one isn't. And then the negative terminal over here goes to both fans and both switch LEDs. The positive goes to both switch LEDs and the battery. And everything kind of connects up at the SSR because it was cheaper than buying a terminal block. And I think that covers all of it. All in all, if I close this up and latch it, it's not incredibly heavy. It's uncomfortable, maybe to carry long distance, but it's a decent weight. Can hold it. I think it's about 5 kilos, but we'll see once I get the, because I'm replacing the inverter with an Anker 521. It's a lithium iron phosphate battery, like power station. That'll sit over there and give me the 12 volts for this and the AC for that. We'll see how much that weighs once this is out and that's in. That kind of covers everything. That's my build. You guys can see my workbench, I guess, if you'd like. It's granite I bought from eBay, and the wood I bribed a friend into building for me. And just in case it matters to you, that's the rest of the workshop. It's not glamorous, but that's a VZ bot. It's broken. That's a CR10S Pro, also broken. I need to fix both of them in the holiday. Those are all my tools. Not super organized. This is actually the nicest drawer. There's all my scrap wire. Those are all my scrap electronic components. Those are all my hand tools. Opal 4, sound meter, lux meter, wiring bits. Back there is an iFixit toolkit, some WD-40, some grease, calipers. I've got this wire that I borrowed. That's stuff that needs to be organized still. Same for over there. Most of it I buy secondhand because it's cheaper, and it's not like I'm poor. I could spend more, but I don't like to. There's no point buying new when I could give a used item, more use. And again, salvaged parts back there. They're mostly power supplies and cooling things. And let me get this out, I'll show you. This is what I was originally going to build inside. It's a very shoddily built wooden case, and you can see that. That was going to be the original housing for the searchlight, till I realized that's actually really stupid and a lot of work. And then the next day, after thinking, what am I going to do, I found that outside my neighbor's house. So universe answered that for me. So this will probably come back later. I reached out to a battery company and a car parts company asking if they'd want to sponsor a battery for me and some HID headlights for me. And so far I've heard back from the battery company. They are pretty happy actually to sponsor me. They said they give me a good discount. I don't know how good of a discount, we'll see. But if it's a good discount and I could get the headlights, then I'm gonna try to build maybe like a 4-bulb HID kind of searchlight thing, and hopefully it'll look cool. I don't know. But it probably won't be as mobile as this unless I can find a way to hot swap the Anchor 521, which is going to be the power supply for that and for that. So we'll see. But that's my whole entry. Good luck to everyone else.